What is good, YouTube? This is the Bearded Saiyan here with you guys, and I am doing a StarCraft video, which I have not done for a hot minute. So, we're going to get right into it. What this video is going to consist of is a couple tips for you guys. New players, veteran players, everybody. I mean, there's always something you can learn. So, we're gonna get to it. Do it to it. So, I'm spawning up here on the left as the Terran player. And I am versus a Protoss player. And he gives me a little cannon rush warning, which is nice of him. However, I don't take it seriously. I never do, because then if you do, you're gonna change your build order. I'm not changing my build order because of what he's done.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
SCV ready. Yeah, SCV ready, Yogi. So I'm sending an SCV out here, seeing what's going on. And I send... So, back to what I was saying about, like, taking the threat of the cannon rush seriously. I'm not taking it seriously, but I am going to, like, poke out there real fast and see what's going on. So what I mean by that is, I'm literally just going to check up here, and that's it. I don't need to be, I don't need to worry about over here really. I mean, if he was to sit there and proxy Stargate me, sure, but he did, so. And if he was the cannon rush, let me rewind it here for you guys. So, the reason why I'm not really worried about this is that SCV's going out. I always send this SCV out regardless of what is going on. This is the timing that the cannon rush actually hits. Or very close to it. This is the timing that it would be happening at if he was actually going for the fastest cannon rush that you can go for.
Be ready.
No. Nothing's happening, so I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to send that SCV across the map because I always like trying to find the probe.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
This is kind of interesting, though. So, I'll show you guys his view right now. Well, he went for this, which is cheeky of him. But what's interesting about this is the timing that it's happening now. So, let's say that he didn't do this, and that he was to... So the standard scouting time for, like, almost every Protoss, I believe, is after getting their pylon and their gateway. It's either pylon gateway scout or pylon scout. It gets to my base at 1 minute and 18 seconds. Almost like 95% of the time, I want to say. Like, this is very, very meta across the board with Protoss players. Is that if you don't see a probe in your base or near your base at 1 minute and 18 seconds to scout you out, there's something definitely going on. But what makes this interesting is he takes this Nexus up in my side and gets to my base and still gets there on time. So everything that he's doing right now looks like it's supposed to, from my point of view right now. So that's kind of it's kind of weird. There's nothing off about what he's doing right now. That's what I'm trying to get at. Now he shows up.
SCV ready.
Also depends on the map size, but most of the maps are pretty standard sizes. There's a couple that have shorter distances, but this is a pretty standard map. So right now, I'm thinking he's doing a fake cannon rush. And then I see the pylon up there, and I'm like, he's not doing a fake cannon rush. Because this, if this actually goes down, it's hard to deal with. Because of the spot that it's in. But he does a little, he mismarkers a little bit. And I killed the probe. I don't know what he was doing there. But he should not have lost that probe. Anyways, continuing. Probe gets in your base, always go for the probe. Don't worry about stuff. Just let the SCVs do their thing.
This better be good.
Keep killing the probes every time you see them. And up here, I got a proxy factory going on. This is my standard meta build that I do, and the reason why is because Widow Mines disrupt the Protoss a lot. And if they don't see it coming, it's very painful for them. But luckily for this guy, he's going for cannons. So this kind of counters my build, but that's okay. Like I said, I'm not going to change what I'm doing because of what someone else is doing.
Armed and ready.
Also, this is something to note here too. This should have 3 SCVs in there. This one, with the situation going on, it's appropriate for it to have 1. But there's a little bit of a mismacro, is what I'm going to call it. This should have 3 in there. But regardless, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm surprised he didn't cancel that.
SCV ready.
So I'm gonna go over here, clean up all the shenanigans.
You want a piece of me, boy?
And here's something for you Terran players, if you ever want to try this build. If you have the appropriate amount of gases, you can get an armory and a starport at the same time. And afford the mine. You can afford the mine, you can afford all your tech buildings that you want. Nothing to worry about. And then I see this out here. I saw him warping something over there, and I'm like, oh man, this guy's committed.
SCV ready.
This right here can be game ending, or very annoying with the situation that he's in. If he was playing standard, this is not game ending. A lot of Protoss beat this, but this is very, very annoying for them to deal with. They don't want to be dealing with stuff like this early in the game, because if none of this happened, this would have come out perfect timing. You cannot have a Robo Bay in place when this comes out. Obviously, you can have cannons.
Forces are under attack.
The Robo Bay is like 10 seconds after this happens. So why I do it? So I'm not even worried about what he's doing right now. I'm just playing my game right now. That's what you guys have to do when you're playing like anything. It's like, who are you playing against? Are you playing against the Protoss, or are you playing against yourself? Play against yourself. I'll get another Widow Mine out, and I'm a little bit more careful with it because he has a cannon. But he can still reach me. I'm like, oh no. The build order, I'm still sticking to the build order, guys. I have not changed my build order yet from what I standardly do against Protoss. So I get a second barracks right here. The second barracks, then the CC, which would be normally going on here, but there's that. And then a factory. You want to get the CC before you get your factory, though. Liberator's always going to come out of this first. Right now, well, in this situation, you can actually change what comes out of that starport. So I know, with my past history of StarCraft, whenever people do shit like this, the next step for them to do, this goes all the way back to Wings of Liberty, is either going to be blood rays or DTs. It's gonna be another layer of cheese, like no matter what. That's their quickest tech route because there's no way that they can catch back up right now, really. To be honest, if they try to catch up, I'm just gonna go over across the map and just kill everything that they have.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
But yeah, those two most common
Liberation is at hand.
options that they have is DTs or void rays. So right now, I'm like, okay, I'm getting this Liberator out.
Go, go, go!
I am looking for like what's going on the map of the Liberator because I already have a mine here and whatnot. So like he's not really mining much from this, or he wasn't mining much from this. He's been sending his stuff elsewhere like this. So it's like whatever. And then I'm like, okay, well, then I send it over here and I find that he's taken one of my not one of my bases, but one of the bases on my side of the map. This is typically not. This is kind of smart from him, but this is typically not a base that I will ever take because of its position. This is like a base that I would be taking if I was to go up to 4 bases or 5 bases. So I usually go 1, 2, 3, like my 3 closest bases, so that I can defend them a little bit easier. This is a little bit difficult to defend. So, my next unit that's coming out is a Banshee. In most games, I would get a Viking with what's going on in this situation. But I decided to get the Banshee because it's like, he's got a lot of stuff going on. He's got a main base and then a second base. And it's like, man, Viking's really not going to do much. But if he was to stir and have the Blade Rays over here like I was talking about earlier, I would definitely be wanting to reactor out some Vikings to deal with us. But after I get this Banshee, I'm thinking to myself, the only things that I need to win this game right now is things that shoot up. That is my thought process of what's going on right now. You don't want to make any unit that doesn't shoot up. There's a reason for that. The reason for that is, 1, blood rays, obviously. 2, if he was to get a warp person in, you need to be able to kill that warp person. Marines are not gonna. They can kill the warp person, but it's not likely. You need more than just Marines that shoot up. You have to deal with that warp person really, really fast, so that he doesn't sit there and warp person harass you and just kill you doing that.
Gangway, coming through.
And I'm just sitting back, still doing my thing. I'm like, well, I can't take my natural, so I'm just gonna. Normally, this would be a regular command center, and I wouldn't turn it into this. I would float it somewhere and then turn it into that. But it's like, well, I can use the extra supply. I can also use the extra minerals. I'm doing a little harass here with the Hellion. I always go Widowmine then Hellion to try and clean up the probes if I could get some good hits.
Add on. Hey, lay off my SCVs, you jerk! I'm in a heap of trouble.
It's crazy though. If I attacked into those 2 pylons, those Marines, that will not break it.
You want a piece of me, boy?
So I'm shutting down mining from 2 bases at the same time, which is pretty neat with this build.
I'm in a heap of trouble.
That's why I like this build so much. It's so much harass. It works when they don't do this kind of stuff too, guys. It works very well. So I got an SCV out here. I'm continuing to scout to find out what other things he's got going on.
Gangway, coming through.
So he finds that I'm trying to mine from this. I didn't get much money from it, but these are free. So I got 40 minerals, so like, I mean, it's not much, but like, you gotta get what you gotta get what you can get.
All hands to battle stations.
And then I spot this. So instead of going for the to Stargate, he goes for Robo and Stargate. Yeah. I am still making only units that shoot air to air or ground to air. That's what he's on.
Optics online.
Reporting for action.
Kill something.
Like I said, you can just float that thing around and get the mineral, as many minerals as you can get from it.
Mayday! Mayday!
SCV ready.
There's the void ray.
Ding! Research complete.
These are all late from him, by the way.
We're returning fire!
I'm like, no, not the Liberator. This Liberator would have lived, too.
All hands to battle
The
stations.
Liberator would have lived if there was not a cannon in his second base. Here's the Cyclones. Normally people would be like, okay, well, I got this stuff out here. And it's really not a good idea to go down there. Because at this point in the game, I don't see everything that he has. I see some of what he has. You would think that you would get a siege tank, and I'm like, oh, if you got a siege tank to start with, and he was just massing out void rays, guess what? Siege tank isn't going to do anything.
Kill something.
SCV ready. Oh, they're after the SCVs. Who wants?
And he's just kind of flying around trying to find what's going on. So he flies over here.
So.
I was hoping he was going to go up in my main. If he would have lost everything.
SCV ready. Our base is under attack.
Remember what I said about getting things that shoot up? I'm even getting the upgrade for it. This increases the lock-on damage.
Enemy contact.
You want a piece of me, boy? SCV ready.
Okay, so everything that I had except for the one siege tank shoots up. That's the important part here.
Hey, lay off my SCVs, you jerk! This better be good. Add-ons good to go.
That was a little unfortunate for him. Look, he doesn't have any energy. If you're gonna do stuff like that, you've got to have way more batteries than us. And at this point in the game, this is too late to be doing it anyways.
Our base is under attack.
Taking some fire here. Systems go. Cyclone ready for action.
Who wants some? Depleted that mineral cluster.
Okay, so now we're able to move out. Since we're able to clean up the cannons.
Research complete.
Gotta back off of this a minute. Lock-on's really coming in handy right now. And all he has is Immortals now. Oh, clean up the ropes. They're trying to attack me. He didn't want to attack into that because of the Liberator. I'm just gonna kite him away. And then engage. I wish this Liberator was a part of the fight right now, but it's not. Okay, so I'm not gonna take his bait and go into the cannon because, yeah, I would have lost almost everything, if not everything, if I did that. Cannons are a really good static D. Almost like, okay, well, here's another unit that shoots up. I'm getting the Thor. You're thinking to yourself, why am I getting that Thor when he's doing that? Because it's like, in my mind, during this game, he's still trying to get air units out. Like, Thors do decently with Marines, and yeah, the competition that I have is exactly what I need to build a beat what he has. So that's why I'm going for him. I put him in payload mode, so I can, like, do a lot of damage if he makes any more air units. Drop a couple meals. And here's the tip that I want to share with you guys. So, people that play like this, they tend to like want to be all over the map. It's like, okay, well, they have to abandon the base, right? Normally, you'd be like, go for the probes. I'm like, well, watch what I do. I go for the base because I know that he doesn't have anything there. Base is going down. Once that base pops, look at the probes. He's not paying attention to this. I follow the probes, and he leads me right to his main base, his last effort of the base. There it goes. There it is. We did it, guys. Let's call.